When you think of Japan, you probably think of anime, but today I will not be talking about anime. I will be talking about kimonos in Japanese fashion. The kimono is the most famous T-shaped garment worn in Japan, meaning thing to wear. Researching this topic has introduced me to the influence of fashion, specifically kimonos. In Japanese culture, the Japanese display symbolism in their kimonos, which is something we do not practice here often. My goal is to inform you of what I have learned in hopes that it influences you too. I have always had an interest for Japanese culture and their sense of fashion. The immense research conducted for this speech further educated me, though I am not an expert in this topic. To show how kimonos represent Japanese culture, I will explain the history of kimonos, how they are made, and the symbolism involved. Okay. In the 8th century, there were fashion concepts borrowed from China. The first one being the hakama, a loose long jacket worn over trousers. After the hakama, it transitioned into a kasode, which is a short sleeve jacket. The article, The Surprising History of the Kimono, says every Japanese person wore a kasode regardless of age, gender, or social economic status. After the kasode, the style changed one more time and it officially became known as the kimono in the year 1400. Kimono styles worn today were created in the 1600s and they were stopped being worn during the reign of Emperor Meiji. This is when Western clothes were first introduced in Japan. When Meiji came to throne in 1867, he told the government to stop wearing kimonos to work. By the time Meiji died, Japan was the most modern country in Asia. Today, they are only worn on special occasions such as weddings, tea ceremonies, and when a woman. Next, I will talk about the craft of kimonos. So kimonos are handmade and therefore they are expensive. From Japan.org, a piece of fabric that is 39 by 43 feet long and 14 by 16 inches wide is cut into 8 pieces sewn together to form the kimono. Kimonos are made of silk unless it is summer, then they are made of cotton. According to Silk Goods selling to Japanese market, around 70% of silk materials purchased in the country go into production of kimonos and the accessories, representing 12,700 tons of silk fabrics in 1991. So kimonos are made 2 different ways. They can either be dyed or they are colored thread and they are sewn together. Japan.org says that a variety of silk cloth, which is called a yuki tsumugi, lasts 300 years, and if the color fades, it can be flipped. So when kimonos are dyed, they start as white fabric. That way they are easy to alter if the color fades or if they want to change the color. And pre-dyed thread is woven into a pattern and it can be reversible, so they can wear it inside out if they wanted to. Right. Next, I will talk about the symbolism in kimonos. People decide which kimono to wear based on the patterns, colors, seasons, or pictures. Early kimonos were worn as a symbol of status and wealth. Now they are only worn for formal occasions. An example would be cherry blossoms represent rebirth, a new beginning, beauty, and the transience of life. Another example is the color green represents new beginnings and good fortune. Okay, today I have explained how the kimono has evolved throughout history, how they are made, and the various types of symbolism kimonos may have. I hope that I have informed you of kimonos and their role in Japanese culture. So next time you see one, you will know they are expensive and have symbolism behind them. I hope this speech has proven that a kimono has more symbolism than a robe.